Live from the Figgis Studios, it is Weekend Geek Update. Smurf here, and we're going to do a little something outside of the norm. We're going to do some gaming. And we've got Gareth, an old-time repeat offender, and we've also got his new friend, not a new friend, but a friend new to us. We are talking about Matthew Blue, or as we just like to say, Blue.
Andrew Blue, but it's whatever. Andrew Blue.
So Andrew, who we will get diving into momentarily as you see the setup here at the bench, has designed and developed his own tabletop game. So we are actually going to do a walkthrough after Blue describes everything to us. But before we get to this, we got to talk geek. I mean, let's do a little geek speak, ladies and gentlemen. And
Geek speak.
Blue, why in all that is holy? Because I'm looking at this, and this is impressive. So this is the player's handbook and DMG all rolled into one. Because
Right.
it's got the rules
Core
to the game.
rule book.
It's got characters. It even has a scenario. And that's impressive. And according to, this is your press release, Colorado, United States, Blue Falcon Studios is proud to introduce a new tabletop role-playing game, Solar Arcanum 2099. By merging both high fantasy and science fiction elements into the same game, players have opportunities for their own play styles in the same game and alongside their fellow role players. In a world where magic and technology exist together, players are able to leave the terrestrial scale to find fame and fortune. Well, goddamn, sign me up. I want fortune. Fuck fame. I've been there. All that gets you is stalkers.
I mean, and sometimes stalkers can be fun, but other times they cannot be that fun.
It's a hit or miss.
Yeah.
So evidently, this was just more than like a Friday night meat fever dream.
Yeah.
This was thought out. This is well executed. Walk me through it, Blue. I mean,
Sure.
I'm very curious about it.
Sure. So, I think everyone can relate. And when I say that, 2021 sucked.
Yeah, I think we just leaped over that year to get to this year.
Yeah.
So here I am. I'm currently on my fourth job myself. I'm a software developer. I got into software development after, I was a Marine. I did, military skills to pay the bills. And I got into software to finally actually start making some money. And this year was a little rough. So there was back in August, I was working for a company that ran out of money.
What software company runs out of money?
Oh no! What? No, it's check out
bad
Silicon
one.
Valley. It's there. Yeah, I mean that's half.
It's just a field of destroyed software companies.
No, just watch Silicon Valley. My greatest thing was like the very first episode of that show sums up the whole thing. Sums up software development.
All right.
We'll develop software for food.
Yeah, but that very first episode where I was sitting with my wife and showing it to her, and they got this episode, it's like, why does the development group always have like one skinny white guy with one fat white guy, and then like an Indian guy? And she looks to me, it's like, oh my God, it's true, because she's been to company parties and stuff like that, and so, yeah.
So it checks all the stereotype boxes, is what you're saying.
Well, it should be more like
than
a
a
real life
few.
documentary, really. But yes. So
All right.
So anyway, here it was in August, and I was just so fed up. I've had this dice mechanic that I was playing around with for a while.
Okay.
I wanted to do a new dice mechanic. I wanted to do something a little bit different with that. I was working on the math for it and things like that for a while, and then finally here I am. I left that job so that way I can go try to find something else. But in the meantime, I've got 40 to 50 hours a week to myself. So it's like, let's do this, because wouldn't it be great to make something myself? And that's what I did. I started out. So I had the dice mechanic, so I really wanted to come up with an idea around it, something I wanted to do, something I've always wanted, because I've played role-playing games since forever. And I mean, Rifts, Dungeons and Dragons, Star Wars, Star Trek, everything in between. And
Okay.
yeah.
What's the best platform? What's the best role-playing game?
And I want to say there should be something in between, because that's where I'm trying to get to is I really want a theme of science fantasy. I do like Star Wars in the sense that you get a little bit of that. You get a little bit of magic. You get a little bit of science fiction. And so that's what I was going for.
Right.
So, and that's where I feel like something was lacking in some of the other ones. Like, if they did science fantasy, it was like, it was like like Rifts. You're bound to the earth. You can't really go. You gotta do.
Shadowrun.
Yeah, I want Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Shadowrun. What about did you ever do like Marvel? Did you do Robotech? Because that was a popular one for us for a while. Was Robotech?
I never had friends that got into that. I wanted it so. I'm a big fan of BattleTech and stuff like that. So on the computer, I get my fill from that. That's great. I didn't get that opportunity myself. I love robots.
And I never got into role-playing games until 5th edition D&D.
God.
Oh my God, 5th edition?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you're
I'm a
yeah.
noob. But I always wanted to play, and I think forever ago I played like a Pathfinder game, and I loved the idea of it. I was like, this is cool. This is fun. I like to, I'm a spaz. I like to pretend to be other people. I'm like, I make voices all the time. It's like, why?
That's why you're sitting there sketching. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not aware of who Gareth is, he is a former member of Red Team Go. Because Red Team Go is disbanded.
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
We're rebranding is how we put it currently.
Does that mean all of you got to get matching tattoos again?
Yes. Only this time they're on our dicks.
Nice. So Gareth is a very accomplished artist.
Yes.
In his own right. He has some amazing, just amazing art. That's all I can say. Some.
And
Nice, yeah.
Yes.
Start filling those pockets. Yeah.
And what may I say, Dan? He is the chief
the
interior illustrator. He is the principal illustrator. So
Very nice.
the cover art that you see there is done by another close friend and fellow veteran, Jeff Broadhead. He did the cover art, which I'm very happy for.
I don't think so.
It doesn't sound familiar.
No, but that's okay.
You never know. I don't want to upset someone and Jeff be like, dude, you don't know me? And I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, dude.
I love his art. No, I absolutely love his art. I'm going to try to get some more illustrations from him.
Nice.
You will hopefully see more and more of that stuff. Just like with Gareth. Gareth himself is the principal illustrator for it, which, that being said, yeah, I didn't necessarily give any of my illustrators any time with this.
You have 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow, so kind of like Marvel-style deadlines.
Yeah.
24 hours.
24 hours. Oh, that's it.
All your kneecaps is done.
But maybe not as coordinated as them, or maybe just as, because for me, it was just like, oh shit, this is actually coming together. I've got no pictures, kind of thing.
Yeah, and we had a conversation before that where you, like at the very beginning, where I think you were wanting to do it, but you hadn't quite decided. Like you were still on the fence, and I was like, no, motherfucker, just do it.
Yeah, because I'm used to having a paying job. I'm used to being institutionalized, not work for myself, and so this was the jump.
That takes a better temperament, a little more determination.
Yeah.
So when you were playing in your role-playing days, what was the class that you typically fell towards? I mean,
Gareth. There you go. Hey, Gareth.
I will tell you right now.
You want to cover this?
Okay. So as long as I've known Blue, and it's been a long time.
Yeah, been a minute.
He has always been about kick open the door and cast fireball.
Oh, yeah.
Collateral damage is just collateral damage. Like he is.
See, I have a DM that would love that because he's all like, all right, well, you didn't take into account the room size. So
no, I've got the greatest trap for that. No.
I got the greatest trap. So you trap yourself. You've already learned from your own mistakes, and you're ready to take it.
Yeah, Jeff's father gave me the greatest trap for that. In honor of Kent Broadhead. No, that man gave me the greatest trap, and it's the butter golem. Yeah. So Jeff's dad used to play 2nd edition way back in the day.
Like old school.
Well, I am 1st and 2nd edition.
Yeah. There you go.
I may have a 3rd edition somewhere, but I am 1st and 2nd edition.
So you may know this pain. He had a wizard in his party that would SWAT style kick open a door and fireball every single time. He tried putting prisoners in there to save. Nah. Burn them to barbecue them. You put golden treasure in there, it's now molten slag. I don't care. I get a fireball the next room.
Yeah,
so finally,
gold is gold, right?
Yeah, gold is gold. And so what he would do?
Melt it down anyway. Who gives a shit?
Exactly. So what he did was he created a spring trap at the base square of the door. Wizard breaches and clears the door. Springtrap launches him into this room where the door spring slams shut. Inside is a small entrapped room, so the wizard is flying in behind his fireball. Into the center of the room is a large 7-foot statue of a golem made entirely out of butter. The fireball hits the butter golem, moltens the butter into an entire, like hot tub pit of molten butter, and burns the wizard to death in his own cooked
Popcorn!
plans. Yes. So,
Wow.
the greatest trap I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's better
that's-
than my DM because he would just like, well, the fireball comes back at you. Roll your dexterity.
Where's the
Oh,
fun
you're
in
not
that?
gonna make that. And toasty. You know?
Yeah.
But I like the butter golem. I'm going to probably introduce that into my vernacular now.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Congratulations, you have achieved butter golem.
Butter.
Yes.
So obviously, you have learned some temperament since then. I hope.
No, so let me. So okay, then if you don't mind,
No,
let me
go
tell you
for it.
my favorite dungeon trap.
I would love to hear that.
All right, so here you go. The group of you walk into a room, and it is a small room to study, about the size of this room itself.
Okay.
There's a couple smoking chairs, a beautiful oak wood desk, office desk that sits there, and at the library style bookcases, floor to ceiling bookcases line one wall of the room. In the far back of the room is this elaborate marble bust of this flamboyantly decorated bard with a huge marble brim hat and the feather that sticks out the back. And as the party enters the room, the door slams shut. And the bard marble bust animates to life. And this is at the point where
This is some kind of weird, twisted Disney animatronic gone to hell. Isn't
Oh,
it?
no, this is Marine Corps. I've been to Marine Corps boot camp and to SEER school kind of, games.
Okay.
So anyway, the marble bust would then say, and then I have a list, and in this case, I usually have a list of fantasy and D&D style puns that I would then read from a list. I've got a list of them ready. So the bard would read like the most terrible puns. I'm talking like 1,000 times worse than like, what do mermaids wash their fins with? Tide.
One funny joke.
So then the trap is this. Every round, the bard will read a joke. The bard marble bust will read a joke. Any player at the table laughs, they don't take any damage. If they don't laugh, they take damage. If they groan,
So they're just getting vicious.
They take double
mockery
damage.
the whole time.
they're getting vicious mockery. It's meta vicious mockery the whole time. While they got to find they got to find 3 levers. So the trick is you got to find 3 levers. Once you find them, you got to pull them at the same order, in the correct order, and then the door unlocks. So you can get out of that hellhole. But in the meantime, yeah. So Jeff, the illustrator here, he was great. He was my very best one because I've played against players that like they got the jokes like, oh god, we got to laugh. So then they're like hysterically like over the top. I'm talking like they're Shatnering it. It's just like laughing. Yes. Which then causes other people to laugh, and then, hey, you're laughing so you don't take any damage. But then you got Jeff here. He's just sitting there like, I ain't doing it. I'm not, we don't negotiate with terrorists. I'm not doing this. And then just take it. Yeah, he falls unconscious. But.
Wow.
See, that's okay. I like to just I'm
So
I'm
that's
also a
my
new
favorite joke.
DM.
That's my
That is
favorite.
just mockery,
Yeah,
and I
that's just
love
me.
it.
Like I like to mess with players. My thing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Well, like recently I was running new DM, so I'm just like I'm kind of just winging it. I'll make shit happen. What I did was I like to do something different. I like to put my characters. I put them on a ship in the middle of the ocean, and they.
So like Navy. So he's got, yeah.
Well, of course. But they wake up in cages because they were kidnapped and they are being forced to illegally fight in pit fights.
Well, Navy, based on a true story.
Yeah, international waters.
Right.
Because that's all we do. Like, we have time to fucking fight. That's all we do in the Navy.
There's the new slogan for the Navy, ladies and gentlemen. All we do is fucking fight.
Pretty much. It doesn't matter where or who. It's physical contact either way.
Either way, you're getting your rocks off.
Yeah, exactly.
As a Marine can confirm, can drink to this.
So I put them out there. They're doing this. They wake up. They get put in this pit. What I like to do is I come to the point where the ship is going. Everything's going to shit because your party has to get off the ship somehow.
Right.
Everything's going to shit. The ship is on fire. People are running, screaming. They're like in the last one. My players decided to let go all of the monsters that were being used to fight the people because you didn't fight other people.
That's a bad idea.
You fought monsters.
That's a bad idea.
Oh yeah, no. So there was a displacer beast that was running around attacking people as they were getting off the ship.
Jesus Christ.
There was a hill golem. This was the best part. The hill golem ran up the stairs, ran to a escape boat, threw the guard off the other side of the ship, and you see just this escape boat on the water, the back end is tipped in the water, and he's just paddling himself.
Like it's a boogie board. Like it's a boogie board.
He's just paddling himself out of there. So my players get to the end of this ship. There's two characters that are the main baddies, at least for this part of the thing.
Right.
One is the pirate captain, and one is this overly flamboyant tiefling. It's always a tiefling because why not? So they go to fight the captain. They find out that the captain is just a big old pussy.
All right.
They kill him, immediately.
Outright?
And so they're like, that was weird. And then as the tieflings run away with this, she's just this little waif, redheaded barmaid. They're running away. They go to capture her. She turns around and blasts them with two flintlock pistols right in the stomach because she's the real captain. And then they escape and they just disappear. So,
all they did was kill the valet?
pretty much.
Oh, suckers.
So, and they this guy, I'm hyping this dude up the whole time, the captain. He's this big bald-headed, tattooed. He's got this belt and his big axe, and he's all covered in scars and all this. And they get to him, and they the first person that attacks him kills him, and they're like, what? And then they find out that the real captain, the real bad guy, is this this badass chick who just ha, I fooled you, and we're peace out. And they just bounce off the ship. They have a teleporter or a teleport circle, and they're out of there.
Nice.
So they got so mad. What was that?
No, I played it. I was in a DM recently or in a D&D session, and there's a bunch of us. They say you wake up in the woods and you find out are you guys gonna ask each other? So we get to know each other. Go to this town where there's a bunch of undead, and we meet what's Vampire Diary with the Vampire?
Lestat?
Yeah.
Lestat?
His name is Stott, and I'm just like Lestat, and they're like, don't worry about it. And so,
nah, don't worry about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't you?
and so he's like, I invite you to my castle later on. And so we go over there, but before that, we have all this blood drawn from our arms the next door. We get there, and he apparates and he says, I've been waiting for you. Thank you for accepting my invitation. I get so bored shape-shifting into other people, such as animals, people.
I'm bitching. So I definitely plan on trying to make a trip down there. Now, the hardest part I found out is that Sundays are not the best time to go talk with the manager.
No.
They ain't there.
No.
So for
Sunday.
everyone that I have talked to, I wish to apologize.
There is one day sacred to the manager. That is Sunday.
Yeah.
Not because of sports.
Kevin?
What's that?
Is that Kevin?
At Wizard's Chest? No, I've not had the privilege of meeting anybody over at Wizard's Chest just yet. Reached out to a couple others. When I'm going to be just tickled pink and be announcing it on all social media when I do work something out with some of the local stores I've talked with or anybody else in the future. I totally believe, my gaming has come from playing at local stores, picking up groups at local stores. That is where I really want to
and we'll
contribute
also,
to.
Here soon in the first of the year, have a pickup game at Hobbytown, Westminster.
Yes. So
That's already in the
I've
works.
been there.
So yeah.
Thank you. The manager there has shown interest, and we're going to sync up after the holidays, and
Okay.
that's also my goal too. Is as many stores willing to offer a demo, we'll be offering a game night. I'll be there with a table, and we'll play the game through. And
Well, let us know and create
Yes.
a social page event for it. We will post it on 5280 so you guys can keep
thank you.
up to date if you're in town. I don't think the person that listened to us in Indonesia will make it, or over in England. We have a few.
Oh, wow.
The podcast is worldwide.
yeah,
We're better than-
Worldwide.
Well,
we are better than Pitbull.
I was
do
going to say,
ship
you're
in-
Pitbull
yeah.
now. I was about to say that same joke.
I do ship internationally, so
All right,
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide. So walk me through this. So
Okay.
you are putting together a character, and you have how many different classes?
for right now you've got 6 classes.
Jesus.
You have
All right.
You have the freelancer, kind of the jack of all trades, the person that's used to be out there on the fringe, on the frontier, and having to be the person that has to be their own doctor, mechanic, whatever. You have the scientist, the person who's gone out there into the universe to try to help explore archaeological ruins, mineral deposits, new research things. They are the skill masters.
Okay.
Then you have the soldier, which is the stereotypical, I'm going to tank and I'm going to deal damage. And I'm going to chew bubblegum. And there's no
not a
bubblegum.
bubblegum.
Yeah. And in space, you can't
If
blow
you
bubbles.
put that in his profile, I swear to God, I'm just going to applaud you. Like, that is the best.
That's when you use a fat boy, you nuke him.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duke nuke him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Duke Nukem.
So you have
Nuke
these.
those bitches.
So you have these 3 basic classes. Then you have 3 more advanced classes,
Okay.
where you have the psychic, which either through telepathy or kinesis, you're either manipulating other people's minds or you're manipulating the world around you.
Okay.
You have a cybernetic, which has all classes can have cybernetics. The cybernetic cranks it up to 11. Like they have specialized in having all the cybernetics and being able to fit a lot more of them and being able to get more power out of them. And then
Okay.
finally, you have the mage. And the mage in this,
I love how you're like all science, and then all of a sudden, and the mage.
and the mage.
I think the title for him is still in the works. We haven't I don't know.
I don't think
Well-
mage works. I would,
See, that's where, so
Mystic arts, I mean, not to pull from Doctor Strange,
Uh-huh.
but mystic arts, maybe mage.
that's
I
where,
love it.
yeah.
Don't get me wrong,
So-
but it's just
yeah.
so interesting. You have all these names, and then mage.
Well, that's just it. So it expands off a little bit. You got 4 classes of magic.
Okay.
But just as you've got space travel, you actually have a mage that specializes in that. You have the hedge wizard, which is specializes in opening up portals to go to other worlds, to transport ships into another dimension like hyperspace to be able to get places faster. You have the eldritch witch that like goes into nightmares and pulls stuff out, and it's like,
Oh my God.
I've got friends.
That's frightening.
Right? And then you have the classic mysticism wizard that does fireballs and everything like that. Because I've got to have fireballs.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
we've
I wonder
established.
why.
Yeah.
Fireball,
Exactly.
fireball,
There
Fireball.
ain't no butter golems in space. Let me
Yeah.
tell you.
I made sure of that.
It's something other butter.
Right?
It's. I can't believe it's not butter.
Right?
In space.
And then finally you have the alchemist, which is specializing in transmutation and healing and manipulating the physical world through magic. And then, they want to create armor barriers and create a weapon and, heal people at the same time. So
Okay.
you do have it branch out like that. So there were some core values that I created from a project development standpoint. And that was the classes themselves. So you have the dice mechanics and you have the combat and stuff like that, movement. Those are core rules. And I wanted that stuff to be immutable. I wanted that stuff to be recyclable across multiple game rules, such as the classes. And so that's one thing I designed about this too, is that it is modular. You don't have to play with magic. You don't have to play with you can create a fantasy out of this. I'd like to make. I've got a planned module in the future where you don't have to have cybernetics.
Right.
So the table itself can get together and they can decide, well, no one's made a mage. We don't really want to play with magic. We don't have to. Don't have to. No problem. So each one of the game rules itself are modular, and they're not. The whole game system won't break if you don't play with something.
Right. Well, I mean, I remember back in the day, D&D had different modules. There was like the elves, the dwarves module. There, the vampires, the thieves module. So there were different focuses depending upon what you wanted to play, and of course, it's open to them. But it was more keen and specific to that particular player class.
Yes, and so that's something. The nature of that is something I wanted to keep too. There are 3 expansion books planned. There's a Kickstarter planned for trying to get more funding, mainly for illustrations.
Oh yeah, we gotta get this bitch paid.
Yep,
Yeah.
he's high maintenance.
I mean, I can't just
Look at that
shake my
beard.
ass all the
Look at that
time.
glorious
Look at that
beard.
beard.
It's all curly and everything. Expecting beads and stuff like that to be in it. Yeah. So,
You do look very like
yep.
Christmas Story.
Like dwarf chick.
No. He looks like he's out of Christmas Story, where he's got the big robust beard, and he's going to be feasting soon. Yeah.
I mean, Odin was the original Father Christmas.
He was the original Father Christmas.
And you see, look at that. He thinks he's a god. That's,
Well, look at him.
Yeah.
Of course he
Does
does.
he think or does he know?
I am waiting for you to braid that. I'm
It
really
has
like
been braided. It has been
pigtails
braided
coming
before.
off.
Like the wife braided from the sideburns all the way down once. And I had
Wow,
this
how
nice
we
braids.
entertained ourselves during Rona.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Yep.
you braided Search Tank and
Wait,
you and-
Rona.
Rona, this was Thursday night.
Yeah. No, this was yeah.
The coof.
This has been every Tuesday night.
Yeah. That's what I call Tuesday.
It
Right.
is a glorious beard, Gareth. I do have to give you credit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, do you like use berries and beads in that shit? I mean, come on.
I was actually told, the wife was telling me the other day, I got this text at work, and she's like, why do you have more beauty products than I do? Because I have, like, beard balms and oils, and I have the whole 9 yards. And I was like, because I like to smell nice. I don't know.
Because I want to be pretty for
Yeah,
you.
what the hell?
Yeah.
Why you gotta... don't
Actually,
call me
you
out.
know, my ex-girlfriend was the same way. Like, you have more beauty products than I do. And I'm like, hey, it's tough being this pretty. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry to break it to you.
Try growing a beard. Like, I've tried. The wax and the conditioner and the combs. And I see someone's beard like yours.
yeah.
like,
No, so for me, it's a necessity. I shave this, and they're actually asking for my ID at the bar again, all over again.
They're
I
not
mean,
even letting you in the
we
bar.
we
What
don't
are
let
you
12
kidding?
years
What are you
olds into the bar.
Is that, like,
Kid,
that's
get
the
out.
thing. I've shaved mine, but I still look like in the Navy. I got in trouble in boot camp because they're like,
Did you have
"Did
to
you
shave?
shave?"
Did you have
And
to
I was
shave
like,
twice in a day? Did you have to shave twice?
3 times.
Oh
I
my
had to shave
God.
because we had an inspection, and they yelled at me. They're like, "Did you shave, Kensak?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Shave again." I'm like, "Okay." So I go in and shave again. I come back out. The next
As soon as the
drill
light hits
instructor.
it.
Yeah, the next drill
Yeah.
instructor is like walks by and stops.
It's like, oh, I can't see anything under the shadow. Oh my God.
Yeah, I did shave.
It's directly, and all of these are directly tied to the value that you have for that skill or attribute.
Right.
So at most, you can have 5 attribute dice. Okay. 5 attribute dice. You have your D10s. Your D10s are your skills. And you have 6 core skills. Same thing, you can have specialties that kind of add to the value, but otherwise you can have at most 3 skill dice. For some of the more advanced play, you have 3 power dice. Psychic, magic, cybernetic.
And those are 12-sided dice.
12-sided dice, exactly. And again, you can have specialties. All of these specialties add to the value. So in total, your attribute, skill, or power or value plus the specialties gives you the number of dice.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay? So, yes, it may appear that you're rolling a bunch of dice at first. So
Everybody likes to throw dice. I mean, let's
There you
not,
go.
that is probably the most fun. You just like
All
have
the
a
dice goblins
handful of
out
dice,
there
yeah.
just
and I know
creamed their
all the
pants. They're
Warhammer
just
people
like,
are just
"Ugh."
heavy breathing right now. They're like, oh, throw all those D6s.
dice.
all of them.
Oh, if I could throw 100 D6s, I will.
And that was the best thing because when you do like Axis and Allies, I mean, you're like, okay, I've got 12 tanks, and you're like shaking every single
yeah.
Yep.
D6. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's the
it's so
best thing
addicting because
ever.
you're like, all right. And then when you're in the ocean and you got the transports, you got like 12 transports. And like, they're only hitting it 1, but you've got 20 of them. And you're like, all right,
Some's got to hit.
This is gonna, yeah, you got that one cook.
Yeah, right? Yeah, just total Cuba Gooding Jr. and Pearl Harbor, just
One guy.
one guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that is the only kind of deceptively tough part.
Okay.
After this, let's say, for example, I'm going to do a combat check. I've got a 3 in physical. And then your specialty's added dice. So I've got a 4, and plus I got a specialty in strength. Because I'm going to hit Gareth right now in the face.
Ooh.
It's going to that armor's got a pretty high armor value, but we're going to check this out here, okay?
Beard armor.
Yep. So we've got 4 attribute dice total.
Okay.
3 for the value, 1 for the physical strength specialty.
Okay.
Now, let's say I've got a 2 combat value.
Okay.
Okay? I also have a specialty in melee, so that gives me 3. Now, this is what is called the dice pool.
Wow.
Okay?
Okay.
You roll the dice pool,
All right.
and here's how it works. Top half, there's no adding or subtracting. Top half is a success, bottom half is a failure.
Okay.
So right now,
So where do zeros come in? Are they top or bottom?
Top.
Okay.
10.
So that's a 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here we go. So what I have here is, so this is how a dice pool works. Top half is a success, bottom half is a failure, and then you have criticals. So here what I have is I've got 3 successes. A standard attack requires 2 successes or more. Once you start stacking up successes, you can actually spend it on, you get a spendable portion to the dice pool. So I hit. Not only did I hit, the very top value of the die is a critical. Very bottom half of the die is a setback.
Fumble.
Yeah, fumble. Exactly.
Oh.
And this was the attempt for, especially for new players too, to add definition to each one in a separate one, so that way.
So Gareth's about to eat a knuckle sandwich, is what you're taking.
That's right.
Okay.
So that's just for right now. Let's say I've got 3 successes. I've got 3 successes, so I hit. So every attack has a base number of damage dice, which is your d6s, and then anything that exceeds, you're adding damage. So I only needed 2. I got a 3. I get to add an extra damage to it.
Oh, okay.
Right? If you start racking up extra successes, everything in combat has features that you can apply. So I could apply, my unarmed attack has the stun feature. I can now trigger the stun feature and get that going.
Like Black Widow just zapping people in the
Yep.
face all day.
Yep.
So not only is he hit, but he's got to sit there and watch it come at him.
So this is where the dynamic
Damn.
comes in. It is tough because you are rolling some dice and you need 50-50 for a couple number of them to make the hit.
Right.
But then once you scale up, it's no longer in the days of, oh, well, I just roll a d20 and I'm going to add 40 to it. Let's see if I hit. You know, it's like a level 10 or 15 fighter.
Right.
Let's see if I hit this level 1 goblin. Yeah.
We've all had
no.
that moment in D&D where we're like, oh, let me see if
Do I really
hit.
need to roll? Do I really? No. So
Especially
now,
In
rogues.
case you fumble. Damn it.
yeah, no.
High-level rogues who never go below 10.
Now you get the ability set. There's a couple. So here's the thing about criticals. So here's the thing with criticals. Rolling the top number, they got spendable things. So you can activate features. You can get a little bit extra out of your skill dice roll. It gives the dungeon master or the game master the means to add a little bit more narration to a success. But then also, there's another thing too. So we have, going back real quick, we have your attribute dice, which are always d8s.
Right.
Your skill dice are always d10s. Power dice are always d12s. You have d20s in here. D20s, fortune dice. You have fortune and face dice. So
Fortune favors the brave.
your spendable
Or the
portion
stupid.
of a critical
Okay.
can be used for activating things in your own attack, or you can give one to the team. You put a fortune dice down for the team. Now any team member can dip into that fortune pool later on in a roll and add those to the rolls to try to get some more successes out of their roll. So that way you can provide a little bit more cinematic flair for somebody else's effort later on in the game.
Okay.
Especially at a critical moment where the team needs to beat the boss or the team needs to fix a certain part to be able to get out of danger, so on and so forth.
Which, speaking of the team, like this is one of the things I was most excited about when he was telling me about the game, is there's actually ship battles where the team has to work together in their ship.
See, I like that because let's face it, when you're in a campaign, half the time
It sucks when you're
you're
nobody,
like, okay, I'm
yeah,
fucked.
nobody likes playing 3D holographic chess while you have a pilot and a gunner trying to fight off TIE fighters.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I'll get to in a little bit here, but absolutely. So you have your attribute dice, skill dice, power dice, fortune, and fate dice. And with those, you get the wonderful ability to provide to the team. It's very collaborative based.
Okay.
So that way a team member can maybe be able to succeed something that may not have been able to before, but for the sense of cinematic flair, the rule of cool, it works.
The rule of cool.
Is that the new Thaco, the rule of cool? All right, I'm just going to pick up a couple
It may have been
20
said by another famous DM.
What famous DM said that?
Gary Gygax, right? Or no?
Wow.
I don't know.
No, it's
I'm just
cool.
guessing.
It's cool. He's like, yeah,
The
whatever,
internet
Gareth.
knows.
Whatever, Gareth. You lost your cool points.
The internet the internet knows.
Whatever.
Wow.
So, all right.
Alright.
So that's
Calling
the
me
core
out
dice
like that.
mechanic.
Just threw you under.
I know. You know what? I'm gonna draw dicks in every illustration now. They just gotta find it. Everybody be aware. The new editions are gonna have dicks in every
Old school
illustration.
Disney then,
Yeah,
huh?
the
Old school
Little
Disney, yeah.
Little Mermaid it.
Yeah,
I
there
got
you
it.
go.
There we go.
So that's the core dice mechanics. You have your attribute dice, your
Okay.
skill dice, or your power dice.
Okay.
And one of those
Damage
is
dice or the D6s.
yes. And so you're making dice pools out of a combination of those dice.
Okay.
Top half is a success, bottom half is a failure. You've got your criticals and your setbacks, and they play into it. So now,
Cool. All right.
so now in terms of character creation too, the class-based element, it's not level-based. It's your XP is a direct currency that you can spend to progress your character. So I create a soldier, I put points into it, I level up, I get those XP points, and I get to spend those on certain things. And so character advancement that we have in here, it's say I want to buy a new ability. It costs so many points for this level 3 ability, class ability. It costs this much for a new attribute point, going up to a next attribute point or getting a specialty, things like that. So your XP can be directly spent to progressing your character in the way that you want that character to progress.
So it's not like you level up and you get certain characteristics or certain
There is no
skills.
ding.
Yeah. You don't become an all powerful god.
Well, yeah, because like when I think it's level 5, Paladin gets heal light wounds, and it's like it's customary. So like once you hit level 5, because that was like the big quest, got to get level 5 so I can at least patch myself up because I keep charging on this horse with a lance trying to hit something, and I just fuck myself up.
Right.
I'm the worst cleric ever. I love playing cleric because I don't heal my party.
You heal yourself.
I unheal everything else. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Like what is it? Inflict Wounds.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I love that spell. I have a grave domain cleric that I've boosted up. Basically, where it happens is I just walk up to you and be like, boop, and you just take 3d10 damage immediately.
Death touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to play it fun. Like I'll just like bunk them in the nose. Like, bunk, and you just explode with like your veins explode because you just took like 4d10 damage from a third level cleric.
Right. So there's that
alive.
spent. Now, in the meantime, too, if there's a lot of fluff that you had to get to that point, too, right? There was a lot of fluff and a lot of other stuff that you don't use. You definitely don't use Cure Wounds. In this, you're advancing your character to get to that point. It's almost like a tech tree kind of style for the classes.
Okay.
You can also multi-class, too. And so I'd say I played Soldier. I want to get a little bit of magic, so now I pay for another class. I can start going down that tree.
Pay for some cybernetics or some extra
Right,
skills.
exactly. But in the meantime, for you, you're like, I don't want this. I just want to I want to go straight for Inflict Wounds.
Oh, yeah.
That's my wheelhouse.
The one-trick pony over
Yeah.
here.
Oh, yeah.
Why have this elaborate character that has all these things and then
If you can unalive something better than someone else, that's really all you need.
you spend all this time on this character creating this elaborate story, and then why in the hell is Cure Wounds in there? It has to be part of that character sheet. It doesn't. With Solar Arcanum $21.99, it doesn't.
Yeah.
You get
I
to
like
create
it.
your character.
All right. That's a great idea. I
So-
really like it.
So with that, you have the core mechanics, you have the character attributes and skills and such. You have the classes. So what I do have, as included in the book, there is a pre-made character ready to go for each one of those classes.
Okay.
I've written them down on some sheets here.
All right.
And if you want, I actually have them here. And then in addition to the book, there is a starting adventure, which the very first expansion book that I have planned is actually a campaign guide building off that starting adventure.
Okay.
So with this book,
How many character sheets you got there?
well, I've got 5 written down.
What are we doing?
Oh, you roll and see what you get? Roll and see what you get?
Throw a D6, because there's only 5 sheets.
Okay.
What are you going to throw a 20 for?
2.
Oh,
Why do you have to throw it in the corner? Why do you have to throw a crooked like that?
I get to reroll 6. All right, I'm 3. Give me number 3.
I got 6 again.
He'll
Okay.
take 6, so give him 5.
So,
So I get character sheet number 3.
okay. So, Dan, you get Judy Yills, the psychic.
Oh! I am going to pull out your dirtiest secret and then just make hints at it all the time.
Now,
I'll just tell you what
If my
honestly.
Aunt Betty knew about that, Aunt Betty? You haven't handpicked.
What?
Okay.
Now you, Gareth.
Yeah, what do I get?
I want you to pick since you can't follow the rules and you got to roll a 6 with 5 characters.
I guess. All right.
I want you to pick. I want you to roll D4.
A
Since
D4?
you've got a D4.
D4.
The only dice that's not in this game, but you got to be different.
3.
Let's go with 3 now.
You got to throw another 3? Okay.
So you know what? You get the soldier.
Of course.
Of course.
You get Moira Stillweather, the career gunnery sergeant soldier
Oh,
right.
so the saltiest bitch in the
Wow.
fucking solar system.
in the fleet. Yep.
Cool.
She's got the Everlast chastity belt.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So salty because all she does is shoot stuff. She doesn't get any. She just gets
That's
drunk.
right. That's right.
She just gets drunk all day and shoots aliens.
In the face.
Straight. Yeah, the camo on all of her armor is just completely faded. It's original issue, but like faded.
She's got no camo anymore.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I guess that's
She's
good.
worn it
'cause
all off.
Digis
Yep.
suck.
Okay.
So, yeah. So for psychic, you've got a couple things there. So everyone's got maybe a few, maybe kind of core equipment, weapons, and you have there. Like both of you guys, I believe, have context. You have just like any adventures in any role-playing game. You're looking for money. You're probably really, really broke. You just started off. Obviously, you're the equivalent of level 1 characters.
I got forcibly retired because they were sick of me just beating up on the new recruits because they're idiots.
You're so
Yeah.
fresh yet you have very worn armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What new recruits?
Beating them up,
Beating up new recruit.
beating them off against their will. Who knows? I was just being mean to these kids.
No.
Yeah.
Come here. Come here.
The only thing more plentiful than your service record and ribbons
I'm
is
gonna
your knee
angrily
pain.
fist rape you.
Yeah.
Stop crying.
Jesus.
Welcome to week 1, bitch.
Wow. Ooh, doggy. Okay.
And so, as such, you've picked up a contract. You have all banded together because there is a mutual ship that you have, a small FTL warp-capable freighter that has a broken transponder, and so will always and forever bear the name Glue Stick.
Glue stick.
Glue stick. Dun dun dun.
Yep. And
You're
you have,
flying a glue stick.
so you have picked up a seemingly simple task of your contract has given you, your contractor has given you a small box, very much the size of this wonderful juice box.
Juice box.
Oh,
Yep. And
marketing.
marketing. And
Shameless plug here.
your job is to take it to the next system over.
Okay.
You
Simple
take it to
enough.
the next
So
system
simple
over, deliver it. And let me get to the adventure here. Here we go. Yep. So, you have traveled from the Tycho system to the Gideon system.
Okay. I like it. So we've
Yep.
gone from railroads to a really bad X Factor or X Force villain. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Perfect.
What can I say? I'm still waiting for season 2 of Firefly.
Oh.
Too soon?
So
It's
many.
always
Too soon?
Too
It's
soon.
always too soon. It's okay. You can't take the sky from me.
The brown
So-
coats are coming.
Yeah. So, your job is to meet up with your contact at the local tavern just outside the spaceport.
Okay.
Deliver him the box.
Okay.
He delivers something you in return. You return that back to the contractor. Simple enough, right?
Right.
Simple enough. What
I
could
like this.
possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
Right?
I've got a bad.
Stop crying.
I've got
Yeah.
a bad feeling about this.
Yeah.
Roll initiative 20.
There you go.
Shit.
All right.
I take a nap.
So so to fast forward a little bit,
Okay.
there is a lot more of the adventure itself. But
Of
to fast
course.
forward a little bit, you land, you go through the spaceport. There's a lot of things you can do there. There's a lot of things you can do in town. Obviously, that's also up to your DM.
Part of the game.
Meantime, 2 guys walk into a bar.
I've heard this joke
I
before.
was gonna say
Yep.
it wasn't me.
Yep.
I didn't do it.
So in the meantime, you walk into this bar, and it's a grimy, fringe world tavern bar
Oh, so
cantina.
My character is in heaven right now. I'm like,
Yep.
yes,
Yep.
my people.
Just like that. Yes.
Oh, where's the donkey at?
Keep stretching the fingers. I'm getting them ready.
Okay.
Donkey.
Yep. That's for all the veterans watching this podcast.
Wow.
Right.
So many people are just like, why?
Yeah.
The
Oh, so
violence?"
many people.
So many
So shocked and horrible. Yeah.
No, they're not.
So
Call out a friend of mine, Knuckles, who probably won't listen to this podcast, but I might make him, and then he will understand that reference.
Yep. But here you go. The party stands in the doorway entering the saloon. Inside is a vibrant yet worn cantina bar set on a fringe that fits right in with the fringe world. With a centerpiece bar encircled with a small 2- and 3-person high-top tables and booths along the walls with ratty, old-worn fake leather fabric. It is bustling with patrons of seemingly every variety. So there is enough patrons within this bar that just immediately spotting out your contact with the limited details that you were given, fairly difficult. So you do know that this man is supposed to be, you told that he was just an old, grizzled war veteran. Look for his flight jacket, and you'll know his flight patch when you see him. That is the exact description that you were given with this man.
Okay.
We don't by chance have an example of that flight patch, do we?
I do not.
Wow.
No, I wish.
Nice question. Good question. We like that. That's
Right.
points.
Right.
Okay. So
Coming in version 2.
I asked my lead illustrator for that. By the way.
not
I did
lie.
not. I did not. No.
That'd be-
So here we go, gentlemen. We have the first skill challenge of the game. So to do this,
okay.
what you'll need to do is a direct. So you have a couple of options.
Okay.
First off, what would you like to do?
I would like to go to the bartender,
Okay.
and I would like to ask: is there a particular area that the vets like to hang out in?
Okay. So for that,
I think that's reasonable. I
Yeah,
mean, I
no,
feel
that's
like Family Feud. Good answer. Good answer.
there you go. So you're striking up a conversation. You're doing a targeted interrogation, trying to get the answers that you want.
Yes. I'm
So-
trying to use my appearance because I have no charm.
Okay. So this is where it blends up. Every dice pool is usually either an attribute and a skill or a power. So for this, it sounds like you want to do a presence, appearance, with a social persuasion.
Do I have
Correct?
social persuasion, or do I have? Is this mental with willpower? Oh, social. Okay.
Yeah.
Persuasion. Yeah. All right.
So
there we
this
go.
is where you're going to assemble your dice pool.
Okay.
You're going to assemble your dice pool equal to so what I have is the number of dice that you have filled in for that attribute. You're going to pull that. If you have any of the specialties which I mentioned, such as for presence, appearance, you'll add 1 value to that. So,
I have 2d8
yep,
Plus 3, because
plus appearance circled.
3,
So you're looking at a total value of 3. So you're going to need 3d8,
and then my persuasion, which is
social of 2,
2d10.
Plus
with the persuasion. So you have 3d10 right there.
Okay.
So this would be your dice pool. You have a total value of 3 attribute dice, a total value of 3 skill dice. Go ahead and make that dice roll. And now,
looks
oh
like
my
critical.
god!
What do we got?
I was mentioning to Gareth on the drive over. It's like, it's going to be great. We just crap rolls, like nothing but failures the whole way through. It's like, oh, that's great. But here we go. So this is where you don't have to add anything up. You are simply doing a comparison. So everything the top half. So 6 and above on D8, 5 and above on D8s, 6 and above on D10s. You have in total, good God, you have
Looks like 4.
4 successes.
So this guy's basically telling me his life story. He's
Yes,
ready to
he
like,
is.
He's like
the
ready to
bartender is
confess.
telling you his life story.
Nobody ever talks to him. They just order drinks. And
Yeah.
just the fact,
He
just the
basically-
fact that you're
Oh
like,
my god!
hey,
Yeah, he hands you the glass and the dish rag to clean it while you're listening to him.
and I'm just sitting back. Stop crying.
Yeah.
Cheering up.
So now there is one more thing about this.
Forearms are
Okay.
huge.
You've got a couple criticals.
Uh-oh.
You've got a couple criticals, and that's good.
Oh,
you've got
okay.
maxed out your D8. You've maxed out your D10. So you've got 2 criticals.
So does
Here-
that doesn't turn his brain to pudding, does it?
Maybe.
Uh-oh.
So here's something interesting. Like, so
He's just got a hard on.
this
right now.
is the relationship between criticals and setbacks.
Okay.
Do I need to adjust the mic a little
No,
bit?
you're good.
Okay, cool. So, criticals, you get a spendable feature with it. Setbacks, they only negate the spendable part of it.
Oh,
So
okay.
setbacks on their own, I would get a fate dice. Maybe someone overheard you talking about the bartender about this person, but no.
Ooh, okay.
But no. So these two cancel out. So it still counts
it's a
as
wash.
a success.
Gotcha.
But you lose the
But
spendable critical part.
You
of
lose
it
the spendable critical part.
because you had a critical failure.
You have one remaining critical part for this. So you do exceptionally well. The difficulty was only like a 2 or a 3. You have this spendable part.
All right.
In this case, I would say you're easily ready to add a fortune dice to the party.
Okay, so we add a fortune dice to the party.
We'll leave that right there.
There we go.
So the whole party gets a fortune dice, which will last for as long as, for
Till
the
it's
whole
spent.
till it's spent, pretty much.
Okay. So in my conversation with the bartender, does he reveal where this gentleman with the obvious patch that we would recognize be, or does he know this gentleman at all?
So he refers you to a bar regular, a bar patron likes to sit back and stay quiet. Maybe come in with a couple of his friends sometimes, but otherwise frequents this bar a lot. He points you over to a booth at the very back corner of the bar. And
before we get too far, here's a question: would my character know what the patch was that we were described as being? Would I have?
that's a good point.
Because I'm a soldier.
As a soldier. So your dealings with stuff like that. So what you would do is, let's do it right now. You're looking at a mental intellect. You're looking at a lore history
Okay.
dice pool.
Lore. So I have none of that. I have
So-
no lore. I have no intellect. I have 1 d8.
Yeah. So this is where your attributes always have a value of 1.
Okay.
So you always have 1 dice. So this is where it comes in that you would be rolling a single d8 for your mental ability.
Yep.
You have no skill in it. You are so technically untrained.
Yeah.
So what you could do is you got to roll a d8
Yep.
and usually know in style of this game, usually know the difficulty in advance.
Okay.
Because the rule is you can only dip into the fortune pool once. You can pull as many as you want. You can pull all of them if you want to. You know, you're among your friends. You do that at your own judgment.
Right.
But you only get to pull once. You don't get to pull 1 or 2 and I didn't get the successes I need. Let me pull some more and pull some more. There's no double dipping. You can't double dip the chip.
So it's a one throw and done.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. What I know.
That's
of
right.
What's going on?
All right. Let's see. Let's.
So
out of the thing, and I got a critical.
You got a critical.
Okay. Critical
Okay.
it is. So you are like clairvoyant.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm like, I know.
Right. So you're not familiar with this patch as was described to you in the mission, in the contract details itself, but you do know that it's a mercenary patch. It is not belonging to a military squadron of the Solar Confederation, but you do know that it's a mercenary patch.
Okay.
So since he got a critical, does that put another?
Technically, yes.
Another
So that
20.
could be another fortune dice for the party.
Hell
All
yeah.
right. Okay. I'm digging this.
We're kicking ass.
We are totally kicking ass for 2 greenies.
Yep.
I like it.
So,
A psychic and a soldier, both
Yep.
of whom are whores. Apparently, we're just the slutty.
Dirty.
but that's all veterans.
Dirty.
Yeah. That's all veterans.
I mean,
All right. Well, then let's go to the seedy corner.
yeah. Let's go find this
Okay.
guy.
All right.
all right.
As we're walking through the bar, I'm just gonna steal someone's drink off their table.
Let's. Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, you like to be the rogue and you like to steal from your own party members too, I bet. You know, that's cool.
No, they're cool.
What's your dexterity?
So at this point, I mean, for it is fun though.
It is fun.
You
All right.
you're staring them down. You just take the drink. You stare them down. They go to half stand up and they look at you, and you are still in you're in full combat gear. You're wearing a laminate suit, a laminate combat suit. You've got your weapons on you. You've got both a pistol and a bolt action strung over your back. So at this point, if we had more time, maybe roll
There'd be a
whatever.
throwdown.
Yeah.
Maybe this guy was like, Michael Clark Duncan from the Green Mile built, and he's just like,
Nice.
yeah, I'll pick a fight with you. But for the meantime, no, it's Point Dexter, and he's going to sit down and he's going to let you have your drink, and he's going to order another one.
Wow. Look at you.
Okay,
Muscles.
and there we go.
I just walk by him,
That's right.
flexing on him.
What?
Yep. So you continue on to the table which he's at, and so here we go. An elderly man eyes each of you as he sits at his table. His gaze is sharp and calculating. He remains silent, continuing to study his new table mates. Meanwhile, you know that his hand is at the ready over a pulse pistol in his drop holster underneath the table. And as we know, in these cantina settings, you've already lost.
Who shoots first?
Who shoots first?
Han shot first. I don't care what anybody else says.
Han did shoot
I will
first.
fight you.
Is he expecting us?
In a sense. Maybe not expecting you exactly, but as this contract was formed up, you can assume that, yeah, as the person that's expecting to get something and hand something back, he is expecting someone.
Okay. Then I will approach him.
Okay.
Hands out. We have an understanding that we are to meet with you for an exchange. May we approach?
He's just like, take a seat, gentlemen. And as you take a seat, you can see on his flight suit where he's got that recognizable flight patch. It is a very recognizable icon. But then also you see on his name, Paul Cross. Now this might be another good one where you get to, this one will definitely be another mental intellect, lore history. And for you, it'd be beneficial. You might want to take those fate dice.
Oh.
And try to do a
Do it, because I
roll
got
like that.
I got nothing. Do it.
Well, as a soldier, you want to know because that name sounds familiar. The patch sounds familiar. Everything about this man seems familiar from you as a soldier. Oh, hello. So,
One failure, though.
again, fortune dice follow the same rule. Top half of success, bottom half of failure, criticals and fumbles. Well, in fortune dice, there are no fumbles because it's already a fortune dice as it is. It can't come back to bite you in the ass. But you've got 2 successes right here. Okay. So you've got it. You once you sit down and you see that name tape, everything clicks for you. The character recognizes this contact as Major Paul Cross, the famous ace pilot of the Battle of Ares III. So,
Dun dun dun.
Paul Cross was the wing commander of the 201st battling against insurgent Ares Confederacy forces. The battle was bloody for both sides, nearly destroying both fleets. Paul barely survived with a few of his squad mates, but coordinated them into salvaging an actual FTL-capable ship, able to intercept reinforcements and warn them of the trap that was laying for them, and giving them the intel needed to avoid defenses and overtake the orbital station. Major Cross was a war hero, but soon resigned and joined the Black Pulsar mercenary group, and that's where you recognize the patch from.
Oh. Okay.
So this dude's a badass. This guy is
Uber badass.
Oh, yeah.
This dude is like
He total space diehard the whole thing.
I was gonna say I was gonna say he's like John McClane
Yes.
of space,
Just a good Christmas reference for right now, you know?
which is a Christmas movie.
Which is
It
a
is.
Christmas
I will
movie.
fight someone.
Oh,
I mean, if they have not realized this at this stage of the game,
Yeah.
seriously, come on.
yeah.
Catch up.
There's a Christmas children's book out about that.
How John McClane saved Christmas.
Oh, I got to get that.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so what does he do? Does he let us approach and sit down?
He does. And so he immediately says, immediately asks, are you my contact? Do you have a small box for me?
We have a small box. I present the small box.
Okay, so you present the small box, which is about the size of this juice box.
This wonderful juice box.
This wonderful juice box.
Wonderful juice box.
And he himself is about to pull out of his flight suit off the sleeve a box of similar size, all black, with no, it seems to be solid. There doesn't seem to be an opening or anything on this square, this cube that he's about to pull out. And he slides it back in because the bustling noise and activity of the saloon comes to a silent halt. 3 unscrupulous characters stand in the doorway, staring down everything and everyone in the saloon. 2 of them step forward from the doorway, inside, while the third waits at the front entrance, blocking anyone from entering and leaving with a pistol drawn at the ready. 2 men steadily
nipples
walk
just
into
got
the center bar and begin asking the bartender a few questions.
Uh-oh.
Yep. So, at this point, also in the book, for all of you Dungeon Masters, provide a couple things. If there's been any setbacks, is one of those instances where, hey, people nearby the bartender just heard maybe you guys asking about it, but you didn't create any setbacks, any generating setbacks. Okay?
Smooth. Because I'm a smooth operator.
That's
I'm
right.
a whore, but I'm
Well,
a smooth operator.
You were also listening to all the other bar with what you rolled. You were listening to all the bar patrons' problems too.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Smooth whore, you're a s'more.
I'm a s'more. I'm all s'more.
Smooth. Smurf the s'more, the whore.
Speaking about s'mores, this is completely unrelated. But
Yes.
if you've never had a s'more with a Reese's cup instead of a Hershey's bar,
Wait, s'more of what?
s'more of this foot in your ass.
I'm gonna write a book called My Foot in Your Ass.
Starring you and my foot.
So Major Cross immediately looks at you, and his arm dips down. You can tell that he's pulled out the cube, and he's put his hand underneath the bar again. And he looks at both of you. He's like, they're looking for both me and the box. Best they don't find both together. We've got options. Either you head out the back door, which is conveniently located as the door for the kitchens is located right next to this booth, which obviously might lead out to the back.
All right.
And he
he's
almost
smart.
gestures to that with a nod. Best that they don't find both together. Either you head out the back or I do. It's your choice.
Oh, we're taking the box and running.
Okay. Yep. Says. There we go. Says Paul Cross, and you can hear an audible click underneath as his pistol's been withdrawn from the holster, and it's held just under the table at the ready. You have no doubt whatsoever that the odds are even in whatever fight that you guys need to duck out from.
Shit's about to go down.
That's right. Are you staying behind?
I
I'm hightailing it back to the ship. I'm getting out of Dodge.
I don't know. Do I want to help him or do I want to just bounce? Well, I got to protect you because I'm
Yeah,
assuming
because I got no.
That's why I was hired.
Yes.
Was to protect your pretty face.
Yes.
There you go.
So I think I will. He has the same pistol as me. Do I notice that, or does he not?
No, he's got a pulse pistol, so he's got an energy pistol, which may not have been military issued at one time, but
Severely upgraded from us.
yeah.
I say you come with me.
Yeah, that's the plan. I think.
Because you should probably lead the way in case, just in
guys in the
case,
back.
they covered the back door
That's
to,
a good
to
idea.
cover
Actually, that's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
something. So I would let you go first and kick the door in.
Right.
Cool.
So at this point, with the one person watching over the entire bar, and the two other unscrupulous fellows asking the bartender, it's easy to duck out the kitchen and head out the back. And for speed purposes, yeah, it's real easy for that. In the meantime, let's have a combat session anyway.
Sweet.
Okay? So there was one guy waiting in the alley for you guys, waiting for somebody to come out the back door. And there we go. So now,
Well, I see that I have stealth
Right.
in my athletics dice. So obviously, I want to try to lead us through the kitchen as quietly as possible without trying to make any ruckus. So
we can say that, and this is where everything can be kind of abstracted to it. A narrator or game master also has the freedom to say, like, you are trained in athletics and you have a specialty in stealth. You knew at the right moment to pull the team out and head out and slip away. So that way, in tabletops where maybe they don't want to roll as many dice, or you can default to that.
yeah,
And we'll do that. Absolutely. You slip out the back. The three thugs in the bar don't notice you because of your skill in stealth.
Wow, look at you. You're ninja. You're ninja bitch.
There you go. So then the both of you head out the alley, and down the end of the alley, you can see one man standing there looking down and lock eyes with you.
Oh, okay.
And in this moment, we roll initiative.
Ooh, what's the initiative dice?
Here we go. So initiative is dynamic. Initiative, due to your actions and your choices, can shift throughout the entire combat. It's not just rolling one dice and having that set list every single round of combat. You can simultaneously spend a little bit to move maybe just a little bit slower next time, high risk, high reward, or try to reserve back, try to get the upper hand later on in combat, and then also do abilities that affect your enemies to set them up for blows for the rest of your teammates. So, initiative for every combat starts at a 4. And you can see you have your initiative screen right there. Initiative goes from 1 to 8. Lowest goes first. Obviously, it's like initiative 1 first.
Right.
So, here's what you do. Everyone rolls a d8. And this is how it can shift a little bit, too. Everyone rolls a d8. Here you go. I've got one here for you. There you go. So, again, top half. Oh, there you go. So, you just scored a critical. You drop 2 points on your initiative. So, you're on initiative count of 2.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So, you go from 4 to 2. What did you get, Gareth?
7.
You got a success. So, you drop down. You're running on initiative count of 3.
Okay.
Your local neighborhood thug rolled a failure. So, he stays at 4.
So he's just sitting there.
That's right.
So wait, I get to go first?
Yes, you do.
Oh,
Starts from 1 to 8.
Okay, I was confused
Right?
at first because it's 1 to 8. I thought whatever you rolled on the D8 was your initiative.
No, no,
okay.
it's not purely
Pass,
random like
fail.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got it. Cool.
So there's a couple class abilities that might be able to play with that automatically. There's rules in here for tiebreakers, but the base thing is that if you have a tiebreaker, you just roll off. So you could have instances where you and the bad guy are on the same initiative count, and there could be some trade-off here and there that you have to account for. So anyway,
all right. So what I'll do is
yes,
I will do a ranged kinetic strike to
Yes.
try and not attract attention to ourselves.
There you go.
So
going into that, I wrote down the rules on there. So basically, it has a range of medium.
yes,
Now,
damage 2 to 6.
yep. So we'll say within your medium range. We're playing Theater of the Mind tonight, and you're in range of medium. And so what you have is a kinetic strike is located under the psychic class, and I will pull that up here under page. Just hit Mage class, psychic class. Kinetic strike is on page 45. So you're going to be rolling this following dice pool. You're going to be rolling a mental willpower plus a psychic power kinetic.
Wow. Okay. So what do I need to pull?
So that's here. Take a look. If you mind holding up your sheet here, I'll take a look here. So mental and willpower looks like you got a value of 4 there. So you're looking for 48. Yeah, Gareth's got my other one.
Okay.
And then you're looking for a psychic power kinetic, and it looks like you've got a psychic die of 1. So you're rolling a d12. Power dice operate a little bit differently on their criticals and setbacks, but we'll come across that if you roll that.
Okay.
So that still same principles. Top half failure success. You got your critical at the top number.
Oh, I see one fumble.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Got a crooked dice here. Let's go ahead and re-roll that. Hey, there we go. That says save lands there. Okay. So your power dice got in the top half. You got a 7. You got a 6. You got your 2. In combat rolls, it's a straight roll of 2, difficulty of 2, plus whatever armor they have. This thug has no armor. So, you hit.
Sweet.
You hit with your kinetic strike.
So the damage it says is 2/6. So is that 2 d6s?
Yep, so that's how it works. D6s are effect dice. And the very first number there is your base damage.
Okay.
Now, remember when I said if you have excessive successes, what's called surplus, it adds to the damage. You can never go above 6. Now, here's the thing. Just like how an attribute dice, you can only have 5 attribute dice. You can only have 3 skill, 3 power dice. If you have a value that ever exceeds that, I call it overflow. You get rerolls of your dice. Okay, so you can exceed that
Nice,
value.
I like that.
But that way, you don't have people trying to roll 2 fistfuls of dice.
Okay, fair enough.
Try to balance the complexity here.
Right. Okay, so 1d6 for sure. So
You got 2d. Yeah, so
2.
your kinetic strike is a 2/6. So you're doing a base damage of 2. That first number of the slash.
so then with the critical I get 1 more d6?
There wasn't a critical
Okay.
here. There wasn't a critical. And with criticals, they don't add damage. They don't add an additional success. They add a spendable part. So that's where a weapon feature can be applied, or you add a fortune dice to the party. Okay. Effect dice on D6s operate a little differently. 1, 2, and 3, no effect. 4 and 5, you get 1 effect. 6s, you get 2. So on the 6, you roll a 2 and a 6. The 2 has no effect. The 6 rolls 2 damage. So you just dealt 2 damage to the thug. I have here
The Thug.
The Thug.
the Thug.
The Thug character sheet.
Well, I have provided an NPC or an encounter sheet in the book. So here we have wound threshold. They only so he only has 3. He just took 2 damage. Every time they take damage equal to their wound threshold, they start taking wounds and start dropping and dropping and dropping.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I almost did not leave you anything.
Yeah. Lingering damage. Yes, that's a good way. Is that what you
Lingering
said?
damage. That is great.
That's a great way of saying it, Ryan. Thank you.
So you get to inish.
Oh.
Mood lighting.
What happens when there's too much lingering down?
Oh.
Just basically hit him so hard he knocked him
Knocked his
stupid.
lights out. Yeah.
That clothes almost came off when the lights.
All right,
went.
Gareth. So here we go. So that was initiative count 2. Done. Initiative count 3 is up next, which is you, Gareth.
My turn.
So you, as the soldier.
Yep.
What does the soldier want to do on their turn?
The soldier wants to. So I see my friend here go wah, and he just poof, he gets punched.
Mind bullets. Yeah.
Mind bullets right in the face, and I'm like,
bullets.
so I'm gonna pull out my bolt rifle,
Oh.
take aim, and take a shot.
Oh my.
All right.
You're just gonna split
So
his head
yeah,
like
with
a
your bolt
melon.
action. So now for your dice pool, it's going to be physical,
Yep.
agility.
Okay.
So it looks like you've got 3 on the physical, and you've got agility as a specialty.
4d8.
48.
Cool.
Oh my god. You are gonna cleave this dude in half.
And then,
Can you shoot yourself?
well, hey, if you want to.
No, I mean accidentally.
I mean,
If
that's
you,
up
if
to the
you-
narrator.
If you throw that bad, can you accidentally shoot yourself?
So what I do have is that there are there's ammunition and then jamming mechanics.
Okay.
So
That's a cool feature. I
you-
like that.
You can cause something like that. So in the meantime, you have a combat of 2.
Yep.
And the specialty is ranged, so you get to add 3 to that. So you've got 48, 3d10 to try to get 2 successes.
Good lord.
So we're going to see some features pop here.
This dude's gonna be pulp.
So 4. There's only looks like 2 failures.
Yeah, so you know what? So this is what we've rolled. We've rolled 2 successes, which is what you have needed to hit.
Yep.
So your bolt action has a damage value of 4/8, so you're going to do a default of 4. But tell you what, let's speed this up a little bit. All right? Your watchers have been patient with us enough. That's add a couple here. So you got a critical, and you've got a couple other successes here. Okay, let's demonstrate this. So, let's say you rolled 4 successes and a critical. All right? No setbacks, nothing like that. You only needed 2.
Yeah.
So, with 4 successes and a critical, let's just say that, you created 3 surplus.
Nice.
So, right off the bat, that's 3 extra damage dice to your damage roll.
Wow.
Now, you also rolled a critical. Criticals, again, have a spendable feature. You have some weapon features there.
Yep.
So what you have for a bolt action, it's pretty simple. You have piercing.
Ammo 1, piercing 2.
Yep. So here's the other thing. Yeah, so there's that ammo mechanic. We can go over that another time where it's in the book. For speed purposes, we'll go with this.
Right.
Okay? So piercing 1 reduces the difficulty of the dice roll by 1. Or equal to its value. So now you technically have 4. So you can activate that piercing and turn it into 4 surplus. So now you are rolling, instead of the base of 4 damage dice, you're hitting 8. You're doing 8 damage dice.
Good lord.
So
Well,
that's 8d6s.
Yeah, so why don't you here's these 8d6s, and let's see what happens when a human target is hit with a high caliber bolt action bullet, like a 50 cal. Oh my god, there's a lot of 6s. So remember, effect
and
dice.
6s.
Yep, effect dice, you have 1, 2.
There's 1, 2. The
Yeah.
rest are 5s and 6s.
So, 1, 2s, and 3s, no effect. We're going to set that aside here. 4s and 5s, or 1 effect. So we've got 3 damage there. 3 dice providing 1 effect there. You have 4 dice rolling 6s. So you've got 8 there. So you total of 11 damage to this character.
Who only had 1 health point left.
So there's a wound system too. So yeah, hit points don't necessarily rise with your levels either.
Right.
There's class abilities and features and perks that you can, that if you want to spend into it. If you wanted to be like Dolph Lundgren, who wants to be the scientist and get your degree in chemistry, but still be able to crush skulls, you can put points into raising your hit points.
You don't miss leg day, is what you're saying.
Yeah. You can choose not to skip leg day as you advance your character.
Just walking around with tree trunks.
This thug, however, did not. So he just took 8 points of damage. He only has a wound threshold of 3. So as soon as he hits 3 wounds, he takes a wound. His wound threshold drops. So the next time around, he can only take 2 damage. So we have 7 remaining. Well, that brings down to 5 remaining. 2 damage fills up that wound. He takes another wound.
So there's that 1 wound. Okay.
And then 1 wound. So there's still 4 wounds remaining. He's killed.
So the wound threshold is basically how much damage you can take before you start
Taking wounds.
taking wounds.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All
So,
right.
yeah,
That's a cool. I like
so
that.
basically what I did was overload. So the wound threshold is like a shield, like the shield in Halo.
Oh.
As soon as it goes down, then you can take damage.
More specifically, it's a lot more like a, it's a series of reservoirs.
Yeah.
Okay?
That gets,
you just filled up the first reservoir. Well, Dan, you just filled up the first reservoir.
Right.
And you just filled up every single one after that. And you killed them.
So I was just like, boom!
But still adding value to a headshot. Okay? Because even at 20th level, a headshot is still a headshot.
Wow.
Headshot is
If
still
you have a
headshot.
kid that plays 18 hours a day playing Halo, he's still going to die to a headshot from a sniper
headshot.
rifle.
Right.
Headshot's to the
Okay.
headshot.
Headshot
And so
to the
he is
dome.
dead.
Wow.
The thug is dead. You just killed that one thug. And you were able to break your way to head to the spaceport, hop in good old trustful glue stick,
Glue stick the ship.
and ride off to Tycho 3 to hand in this mysterious black box that all that you and the party have to do is take this black box that you have no clue what's in it
To our contact.
to your contact, which he didn't know too much about, but he was kind of paying handsomely, so why, you can't pass that up. What could possibly happen?
I guess we'll have to play to find out.
Yes, we'll have to play to find out. So there we go.
Blue, I like this. I like the mechanics.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, because when you explained the dice mechanic to me, I was like, it seems a little complex.
right?
And it is at first, but once you get it, it seems like it'll just...
And that, yes, so that's the point. And so, and I could go into it. There's research papers that have been done on dice probability and things like that, and it goes as a descending order of course, division and multiplication is like really hard for players to do, and then you got addition and then subtraction, and but then comparison. That's where my balance is, to try to balance out this complexity.
Right.
So this has been a whole look at this entire book. Has been a look to try to add a new mechanic, a new way to play, while trying to balance that complexity. If you see these rules, you're going to at least see them in other parts of the book, and so once you get used to them, you'll get players. In playtesting have found great ways to get familiar with those rules and apply them in those other places where they've been recycled and applied, but then gives you an idea of the intent of the game itself. So that way you can focus on playing. No more of the days of, you've got 3 hours of playing and only 30 minutes of gameplay.
Right.
Because you're counting dice or counting up...
Or looking up
mechanics
the rules.
Yeah. And that's great, because if the dice are just a pass-fail...
That's a great mechanic. I like that.
Every dice roll is a mini game for the player, because it's like, oh, well, I got to spend stuff.
Oh, look, I got a critical. That means I get extra damage. Or I get
Nice.
extra,
Yep.
yeah.
So, Blue, you've completed the book, obviously.
Yes.
And have you started a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter to further this along? Miniatures?
Not yet, no. So when I say this is veteran owned and operated, it's also mainly single person owned and operated too. So
Single person funded is what you're saying.
and single person funded too. So I have the books available. I've been independently distributing them too, which has been helpful.
Right.
So I was so happy to get my first sale off to Rhode Island last week.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that was the greatest thing. Yeah. It's like Christmas morning for me. I'm going to run down the stairs. My wife has no clue what's going on. I'm just like, I got a sale, and yeah. But So yeah, independently distributing, independently designed. I have 2 illustrators that I am working with, 2 great, awesome illustrators that, people need to go check out that work.
Okay.
Seriously. Gareth Kensak, Jeff Broadhead.
And unfortunately, there's only 2 of my illustrations in this book because we were a little crunched on time.
So that in the meantime, too, that's my fault. That is not their fault. That is my fault.
That'll be in second edition.
That was only 2 months of project management time allotted to getting the book out. I was trying to get it out before the holiday season, give people a chance to try to test this out or maybe gift it to somebody.
Okay.
So what I do have planned up next is I do have a Kickstarter, which keep an eye out for my website, Twitter, and Facebook. We'll kick that off. That will be initially funding for the first 3 expansion books. We have
Nice.
3 expansion books planned and working on the first one. And the first one is a campaign guide that builds off of that starting adventure.
Okay.
And it tells you exactly what does happen, what does go wrong,
Nice. I
what
like
does
it.
happen. Which then leads up to the second one, which adds rules, mechanics for which I will only say the title is called First Contact.
Ooh. So Star Trek-y.
Right?
Well, right now in the book, there's aliens. You're in space, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But right now, you can only play as vanilla humans.
True. So it's almost like kind of like a BattleTech-y kind of environment. But again,
Okay.
that wasn't intentional. That was more of a project scoped. I was like, do I spend another month or so adding and more and having...
Well, you got to stop at some point.
Yeah, the feature creep can only go on so much. So that's where it can be an expansion book. And that's exactly what it's going to do. So then third expansion will then continue on to more rules and an expansion of the rules. My product value is that no rule will become obsolete because a new expansion comes out. It will only build off of it.
Okay.
So just because an expansion comes out does not mean that you have to buy that. It would be nice to have those rules and stuff like that, but buying that expansion book does not render anything before it obsolete.
All right. Cool. So where do they need to go to follow you? What's the website?
Sure.
Where? How can they stalk you effectively?
Sure. So my name is Andrew Beaulieu, and I am proud to own and operate Blue Falcon Studios, LLC. So Blue Falcon Studios, best found under bluefalcon.games. Bluefalcon.games. There is a Facebook. There's a Twitter. I'd be happy to share those things with you, Dan. And
We'll put them up at the post. There will be links directly to it.
thank you, sir.
Uh-huh.
And from there, from those 3, we'll keep an eye out. There is a sign up that you can do on the website to sign up for the Kickstarter, and we'll send out an email blast once that's going. I'm learning everything as I go. So
Aren't we all?
yep. So anybody on this podcast, I'd really appreciate a shout out. Tell Dan what you really like seeing in a Kickstarter. What were some of those features, some of those tier levels what they offered in there that you really loved seeing in previous games? What was some of the overflow goals that you really like seeing? I want to know, because I really want to know what the players want in a game.
I'm pretty sure they want hand jobs, specifically from you.
Well,
How much are these books?
Are we back?
okay.
$20.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you so much, Ryan. The paperback edition is on sale for $19.99 plus tax and shipping. The PDF is on sale for $14.99, and I'll tell you what, keep posted. I'll send out another coupon for the PDF. So I know my market. I had the PDFs out sooner. I was waiting for these to get shipped. Which, by the way, there is nothing cooler
I love
than
holding
having
it.
your book have that new book smell.
Oh, yeah.
Like open up the box and just
He called me when he got the books, and he's like, "The new books smell."
yes,
And then just hangs up on
yeah,
you
with
like,
no
yeah, I
context.
know what he's doing.
New books smell.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
Dirty.
right.
"What's going
It's like a
on?"
new pack of Magic the Gathering.
Yep.
Oh,
and so what?
unshuffled.
Yes.
Cardboard crack.
And so what you get with that product is that you get Solar Arcanum 99, the core rule book for the game, all of the dice mechanics and rules for playing the game for the whole party, character creation, character advancement. You get equipment, vehicles, NPCs. You also get starting characters for those if you just want to throw the characters in there and play with it. And you also get the starting adventure for even new narrators or game masters or new players to be able to have a good way to start role-playing, or start role-playing, or veteran players being able to play a new dice mechanic and get used to it in a fairly quickly way.
Cool. I like it. All right, Blue. I'm impressed. Well done. Ryan, you got any questions? No, I think he's got nothing.
I'm blown away. I like D&D, so I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. Just like, new dice system.
I like it. It is a lot better. So there you guys have it. Check it out. There are links below in the description. Go to 5280geek.com. The webpage will have the links on the post, in addition to what we have got going on the podcast post as well. And when Blue puts up his GoFundMe or Kickstarter, we will be sharing that, so you can get in the ground floor of something fun, something unique, and it's not every day you get to kind of jump in on a new campaign. So give us a like, give us a share, give us your comments and what you want to see as a Kickstarter. This is a way to be involved, and I'm very excited to be part of it. So thanks for listening. Let everyone know about it, but in the meantime, run fast, laugh hard, and always be kind. Good night.